Biofuels are a potentially very important source of alternative energies, of low carbon energies. Have we got there with the current generation of biofuels? I think corn-based ethanol, for example, looks very unpromising in terms of its diversion of corn from food to fuel, and thus putting up grain prices around the world. And it doesn't seem very promising in terms of the technology either, because it involves lots of energy in the process, not only of the growing of the corn, but also in its processing. It doesn't look very strong. Sugar-based ethanol, in some parts of the world, where there's a lot of land which is rain-fed, then I think it does have a role to play. And I think in Brazil it has had a role to play. I think elsewhere in the world we have to be looking for second generation, third generation biofuels. That means things like jatropha, which is like castor oil, you crush it and it's biodiesel. That could have a strong future. We have to learn more about it. You can grow it on marginal land. You can grow it around the Kalahari Desert, around the Sahara, perhaps in drier parts of India. We have to learn more about the use of waste, because using the waste from grain crops, we can create ethanol, cellulosic ethanol, they call it. We could grow switchgrass in rough parts of prairies or Central Asia, which are not good for very much food. These are the kinds of things we have to investigate. Marginal land that doesn't use, crops that don't use much water. If we can find those ways forward, distillation from waste, this is the kind of way in which we might well be able to use biofuels in a very productive way. But we have so much to learn, and there's only one way to learn it, and that's experiments on research stations, experiments in the fields, development of technology for transforming the biofuels into, transforming the sources of the biofuels into the fuels themselves, development of engines and so on that can use those productively. There's a lot of hard research work to do, but I think it's got great potential, but we have to look at the other environmental impacts, and we have to look at competing uses for land, in particularly for food.